What is up, everyone? James Baek here. Welcome back to another episode of VGC 17 Backtrack Battles. Today, we are continuing our journey through the QR code rental code teams, and we got this team by Jon Hu, who got top 8 at the Collinsville Regional Championship with this Electivire Pikachu Aerodactyl team, which is pretty cool. If you don't know Jon Hu was a player who ended up getting an amazing run in 2014 Nationals, placing in the top 4. Now, if you want to follow Jon Hu, you can check out his Twitter, which is down below in the description, as well as if you want to try out the QR code, the pay spin, or if you want to read the team report from Trainer Tower, definitely go check it out. Everything will be in the description down below. And we got a pretty standard Japanese team. Arcanine, Gigalith, Garchomp, Kartana, Tapu Fini, and Celesteela. Now, I have played a bunch of games with this team, and yeah, I'm pretty bad with this team. I'm not going to lie. I'm very bad with this team. I feel like I don't play it as well as other players could probably play this team. I guess it's because I think this team is very offensive. It's actually pretty frail as well. Focuses on setting up, getting those KOs, and I'm not exactly the kind of guy who plays all out, very frail Pokemon. So we're going to see my opponent from, I think, Japan. It was Arcanine, Gigalith, Garchomp, Kartana, Tapu Fini, and Celesteela. Let's see. How do I want to handle this matchup? My opponent doesn't have Trick Room, which is pretty good in this matchup. 2 Steel types is interesting, and we don't have a Fire type, which is unfortunate. Gyarados looks like it could do a lot of work in this matchup. I think I want to go Kartana. Tapu Koko Kartana actually seems alright for me. I think it's pretty solid as a lead, to be honest. With Electivire does a lot of work. I wish it carried Fire Punch, though, because I never actually found myself using Wall Charge with Electivire, and Fire Punch would have been handy, because other Kartanas are actually super annoying for this team to handle. I'm going to go Electivire, and I think Gyarados in the back. I don't really think Aerodactyl is necessary since it doesn't do much. It could be Scarf Garchomp, though. Don't get me wrong. It could be Scarf Garchomp, which is why I'm bringing Gyarados, because it allows me to Intimidate. So, I mean, Aerodactyl could have been nice, but we'll see how this goes. I'm pretty sure my opponent might lead to Garchomp, and I could figure out if it's Scarf turn 1. I don't know what would be the Z move then. Kartana could be a Z move, could be Scarf. There's so many options for my opponent's team. Even though they're very common mons, like how you arrange the items can play a huge difference, because a Scarf, Kartana, or Garchomp could extremely change this match. So Gigalith Celesteela is going to take the field. I do not mind this lead at all, because I do have 1 my Kartana and 2 my Tapu Koko, and this is a modest Tapu Koko, so Thunderbolt should be able to knock out the Celesteela. My opponent doesn't exactly have a safe switch in, other than maybe Garchomp for the Celesteela slot, which if my opponent's Gigalith has Wide Guard, I would go for that switch, but I don't think there's anything wrong with me going for a Leaf Blade into the Gigalith slot as well as a Thunderbolt into Celesteela, because Leaf Blade, if my opponent wants to switch into Tapu Fini, which I think that is going to be the Tapu Fini, oh, it's actually the Garchomp instead. So my opponent's going to be taking a lot of damage. Here comes the Protect from the Celesteela. I do not mind. The Thunderbolt going to target down the Celesteela, as a Leaf Blade will target down this Garchomp. I think it might be Sandveil, so luckily we didn't miss. We get a crit with that Scope Lens. It is going to be the Rough Skin on the Garchomp, so good to know. Okay. So what's nice is we got a lot of damage on the Garchomp. I'm not sure how much the crit's going to matter too much, because it is in the range of Dazzling Gleam anyway, and I'm pretty sure it's Scarf Chomp, so I'm pretty sure we're going to see the Earthquake come out. So what I can do is Thunderbolt to Celesteela and switch into my Gyarados, because I really don't have like answers to Scarf Chomp with this team. So gonna switch out Kartana, going to Gyarados, because it allows me to live Earthquake. I don't know the Celesteela, probably not going to switch out. It's probably just going to go for a Flamethrower into my Gyarados slot, which is why I kind of want to make this Thunderbolt play. We're going to see, yep, it is Scarf Garchomp, goes for the Earthquake. I kind of assumed if my opponent just brought out the Scarf Garchomp like that, in risk of having a Leaf Blade, I knew my opponent probably had to have Scarf. We take a lot of damage with that Earthquake, a bit more than I was hoping for. Thunderbolt's going to come out and Celesteela, we'll pick up the knockout, because it's not AV, we already confirmed it. Could have been Walking Berry, but it probably went for Flamethrower in that situation. I'll probably be trading Tapu Koko for Celesteela, but I already have a lot of damage on that. Oh, wow. Okay, Tapu Koko survives, that's huge. That's absolutely huge. Let's see what my opponent's going to bring out next. It's probably going to be, I don't know, Gigalith might come out, maybe Arcanine. If it's Arcanine, I would bring out Arcanine here because it most likely carries the extreme speed. Or it could have Wall Charge, which I think both are pretty good for my opponent here. I'm pretty sure my opponent would bring Arcanine, because Arcanine is not a bad mon against me at all, but it's Gigalith coming out instead, which I do not mind at all. I think the Garchomp might either just switch out, or, because I don't think you go for Earthquake. I mean, my opponent could, but I don't mind Earthquake coming out. I think I'm just going to Hydro Vortex the Gigalith, try to pick up a knockout, and Thunderbolt the Garchomp slot in case it decides to switch into something like Tapu Fini or Arcanine. I'm going to get a lot of damage off. And basically, this is going to put me in a good position no matter what. I feel like I'm already in a solid position. I think the Gigalith might just try to Rock Slide here, which is why I want to go for that Hydro Vortex plus the Thunderbolt. And I don't care about wasting my Z-move if Gigalith protects, because putting the Gigalith in that range of Leaf Blade is really huge for me. We're going to see that switch out. Arcanine's going to come out. Okay, fair play. I probably should have anticipated that, but not the worst case. Because we're going to get a lot of damage on this Arcanine, and we are going to get a lot of damage onto this Gigalith, so we're in pretty good shape. That Thunderbolt almost picks up the knockout because of the fact, geez, that did a lot of damage. Is it Berry? No, it doesn't look like it's Berry, so it might be knocked out to Sand unless it carries Safety Goggles. Okay. Here we go. Hydro Vortex is coming out, and it will target down this... Well, it's going to target down this Tapu Koko. Not Tapu Koko. The Gigalith. It's -1. I don't think it's not going to pick up the knockout, but it should put it 80%. Yeah, 80-90. Yeah, okay. And we're going to see the Continental Crush, it looks like, onto my my Gyarados slot. I think the better play would have been to Dazzling Gleam Hydro Vortex there, because I would have picked up the knockout on the Gigalith and chip damage, or maybe I could have discharged, but either way, I think I'm fine with this. Like, even if it is Scarf Chomp in the back, it's not like a huge concern for me. As we're going to see that Continental Crush target down my Gyarados. It's going to go down. It's going down. No. Let's see. Arcanine does a feint to Sandstorm. Okay, it doesn't, but we have Kartana and we have Electivire here. Both Pokemon are really good for me to have because... Okay, I guess Extreme Speed could be bad. Like Extreme Speed Protect. I don't think this is the worst situation for me at all, though. I could just Leaf Blade the Arcanine slot and go for a Ice Punch, because Ice Punch will knock out the Gigalith. I guess I'm worried about a late game Earthquake Sweep or Fire Fang Sweep, depending on how my opponent plays this. I could double protect here too, but the worry about double protecting is Arcanine could switch out. That's like the one fear I have. We're just going to see the Extreme Speed, but no Protects come out from my opponent. Extreme Speed into Kartana, which is an interesting choice. The Leaf Blade going to come out into the Arcanine, which will pick up the knockout at this range. So, doesn't need to crit. But nice. Nice Kartana. Beast Boost is going to activate, get our attack up. Ice Punch going to go into the Gigalith slot, which will pick up the knockout at that range. Nice. And now it's the Garchomp that is Scarf versus the Electivire and Kartana. I'm going to scout for what move it's going to go for. I think I'm just going to double protect. I have no reason not to just double protect. I don't think my opponent has a win condition. A crit Earthquake won't knock out Kartana. How many turns does Sand are left? Actually, a crit might be able to knock it out this range. But I'm going to double protect here. The reason I'm going to double protect here is because... One, I get to scout for the Garchomp's move, and if this was Sandvale Garchomp, let's say, I would stall out the Sandvale by any means necessary. So, double protect. I'm scouting for his move. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Earthquake, but this is always a good move just for safety. Yeah, it's just going to be Earthquake. So, as long as my opponent doesn't get a crit, we win. Because even if Garchomp is able to bring us down to the point where we would knock ourselves out to Ruskin, they changed the mechanic last... compared to previous gens, because in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, if you hit if it's like a trade where you're hitting a Pokemon with Rough Skin, you actually fainted first, so the Garchomp would win in this scenario. But now in this case, actually the Garchomp faints before the Rough Skin activates, so we have the game locked up. So Earthquake's gonna come out. Kartana should live. Yeah, it would have actually let the crit anyway. but the crit would have put us in the Ruskin range. But then again, it still doesn't matter because we would still win this game regardless. Here comes the Leaf Blade. Goodbye, Garchomp. 3 for 3 crits. Hey, Kartana doing the work. As Garchomp goes down, and we will take a first victory here, which is pretty sweet. I think I played decently well in this matchup. I feel like the way my opponent played just made it so obvious that it was Garchomp. I kind of thought my opponent might have led Scarf Garchomp, but it kind of makes sense. And I could have always made some very safe defensive plays. Like, I could have just done turn 2, what I did as turn 1. So either way, I think I was pretty safe. But yeah, kind of surprised my opponent led Gigalith. I don't think Gigalith really led any momentum for my opponent unless he really want to pick up a Continental Crush knockout on Gyarados like straight away. I guess that's what my opponent was aiming for. I don't know, but that's still interesting. But yeah, if you haven't followed me on my Twitch channel, be sure to hit that follow button, twitch.tv/JamesBaek1. I was streaming yesterday, which is kind of where my and we faced some crazy stuff. You should check out the highlight from last stream if you didn't get to watch the last stream, because oh man, that's good. I'm probably posting that. It should have been up tonight or something. I don't know. Maybe it's up tomorrow instead, because I don't know. I might have streamed earlier today because this video is going up after I stream, no doubt about it. But well, no, if I were to stream, we're gonna find Pikachu Jack from Spain with a 1632 rating. I don't know. Why is there like light coming out? Okay, so we got a Tapu Lele, Garchomp, Drifblim, Xurkitree, Pheromosa, and Gyarados. This looks like Shoma's team with Xurkitree over Magnezone. I don't know how I feel about that, because the Magnezone was specifically for one Steel type matchup. Like, Steel type is really good on this team. Helps against opposing Tapu Leles. Also, the fact that starting Magnezone really helped against like teams like the rain teams, because sturdy Magnezone is able to help against rain a lot. But we're going to see how this plays. We have Aerodactyl, which is a pretty solid mod to have in this game. Kartana is pretty solid overall. We have, I think, Electivire and Tapu Koko. I kind of want to bring the Gyarados, but I think it's better to bring the Electivire in case I'm able to discharge. But I don't know, I'm like not seeing an opportunity to discharge here. And this team really loves getting the discharge off. If you can get the discharge up, you can power up your Pokemon. So let's see how this goes. I'm pretty sure my opponent has to lead Tapu Lele. Drifblim is like the only lead that could actually counter me. So I'm going to lead my Aerodactyl Kartana here against my opponent's... Yep, Tapu Lele Drifblim. Now there are multiple plays my opponent can make. We could see the trade of Tailwinds here. The Tapu Lele can protect, spearing maybe a Smart Strike, or could just go for the attack, maybe a Psychic into Kartana to try to pick up the knockout. Or you might want to target down Aerodactyl just to break it to its focus. Actually, you can Shadow Ball next turn. But best play here, I think, is Tailwind and Detect. Yeah, I like Detect. I want that Tailwind up because there's a chance Drifblim goes for Will-O-Wisp in case you feel like it's not really a good play to have the... Okay, that's interesting. Because he could have went for Will-O-Wisp because Tailwind might have been worth it, because my Aerodactyl with Tailwind allows most of my monster outspeed anyway. So my opponent setting up the Tailwind. Bringing out Xurkitree, which is a very interesting mon to have in this situation. I don't know what I want to do here, but maybe my opponent goes for the Thunderbolt into Kartana. So I kind of just want to drop a Rock Slide, and I kind of want to just go out into my Electivire here, because I kind of want to see what my opponent does. Oh wait, there's a Will-O-Wisp coming into that way potentially, or Shadow Ball. I can see Shadow Ball coming out, I guess. I was actually supposed to switch into Tapu Koko. I kind of made my move too fast, forgetting Will-O-Wisp is an option. But it's a Shadow Ball instead, and it's going to target down Electivire. I'm guessing it's a double up with Thunderbolt. Rock Slide does connect with both my opponent's Pokemon. Nice, nice, nice. Ah, it's a Dazzling Gleam. Okay. Okay, so that Dazzling Gleam is a bit annoying, but I don't feel like this is the worst position. I can get a Rock Slide off here, as always, and I can just Earthquake here. Yeah, because I either pick up a knockout on Xurkitree, who's being... or should I just Wild Charge the Drifblim or Ice Punch? Because, like, I'm not really worried about Xurkitree. It should be in range of my Leaf Blade anyway. I think the Drifblim's the bigger threat. We're going to see Shadow Ball come out and target down who? It's going to be the Aerodactyl, actually. And we should be able to survive that? Yeah. Rock Slide is going to come out, and that should pick up the knockout on Drifblim. Was not expecting just to go for the Shadow Ball into Aerodactyl. I didn't think that would pick up the knockout. I guess I should have went for Earthquake then, as my gut feeling, but Ice Punch might be able to pick up the knockout because Xurkitree's a pretty frail mon. Barely hangs on, gets the Dazzling Gleam off, so it's going to get a double knockout and get a Beast Boost. That's not a problem though. That really isn't a problem. Like, the Drifblim's gone, which is like the main offensive pressure from my opponent's team that's coming out. The only problem is I don't like my matchup if Pheromosa's in the back. If it's like Garchomp, I really don't mind my matchup at all in the situation. So, Tapu Koko, Garchomp. Tapu Koko plus Kartana will take the field. And Garchomp does come out. Okay, I'm in a pretty good position now. It's not Scarf Xurkitree. We have Tailwinds up, so unless this is Scarf Garchomp for some reason, which I really hope it's not Scarf Garchomp. But I'm going to Dazzling Gleam, Leaf Blade that slot, because, it's a safe play. It knocks out Xurkitree. Leaf Blade plus Dazzling Gleam should knock out this Garchomp, because it's Moss, Tapu Koko plus the Leaf Blade on Kartana. Either way, I think we're in a good position. Yeah, my opponent, I don't know what you're doing, but not protecting either. Going to be able to pick up the knockout on Xurkitree plus the Garchomp, and I'm able to get the Beast Boost with this Leaf Blade, which is going to target down the Garchomp, and that will pick up a knockout. So, okay, there is still a chance we lose this game. There is still a chance, but my opponent would have to be Scarf Tapu Lele, and on this team, on Drifblim teams, you really don't see Scarf Tapu Lele, so I'm really hoping it isn't. Tailwind Peters out. If my opponent is Scarf Tapu Lele, he has to target down the Kartana slot. I guess I'll try to confirm if it's Scarf Tapu Lele, because I think the best play here is to discharge Detect. One, if it's Scarf Tapu Lele, I find out immediately because Coco should be faster than a Timid Tapu Lele. So I discharge. Two, the Tapu Lele, if it is Scarf, has to target on the Kartana slot no matter what, because Tapu Koko won't threaten a knockout on Tapu Lele just yet, but it does threaten a knockout on my Kartana. So I'm going to Detect right here and discharge, because I get to confirm if it's Scarf Tapu Lele or not. At that off chance it is. So Detect is going to come out. Okay, it's not Scarf Tapu Lele, so Leaf Blade should just seal up the game. Just have to make sure 100% safe, just so I can prevent choking from happening. So here we go. Discharge gets a para. We're gonna see that the Tapu Lele is parried. Even if it went for Shattered Psyche, a crit, I don't think through Protect knocks out Kartana either way. So I'll go for Dazzling Gleam and a Leaf Blade. That should wrap up the game. A good game to my opponent. I don't think the paralysis didn't matter since it's not Scarf Tapu Lele. We already confirmed that. So Dazzling Gleam will come out unless it's the only Scarf Tapu Lele that's slower than Coco is slower than a Timid Coco by like 1 point. But it's not going to be 1 point under Modest Tapu Koko. And I don't even know if this is Modest Tapu Koko, like max speed Modest Tapu Koko, because it does have HP EVs. So I don't know where the EVs went, because I don't remember the EV spreads off the top of my head. But we're going to take some Alright, we're 2-0 with the team currently. But yeah, so a lot of people actually messaged me yesterday, I believe, about playing me, because I did play like for 3-4 hours on BattleSpot yesterday, because I was trying out the different QR code teams, like seeing which ones I liked, which ones I didn't like, which ones I could play well with, which ones I couldn't play well with, and I feel like I lost like a majority of the game, so that's kind of why I decided to reset my rating, because like I dropped like 180 points on the ladder using just a bunch of QR code teams that I really had no idea. So I feel like I could have won some of those games, but I feel like I just didn't play the teams optimally. So I apologize to my opponents, because I don't think I played my best yesterday, because I was just learning the teams, and it's always fun to learn new teams. So that's kind of why. But yeah, that BattleSpot rating, like I had so many losses, it was just getting kind of ridiculous. So I just reset, and then I streamed, which was pretty cool. We ran into, I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it yet. So definitely, when that highlight goes up, if you haven't seen it, definitely go hit that highlight up. I already know what game I'm posting. Oh, that was a crazy game. And again, if you haven't followed me on my Twitch channel, you definitely should. But yeah, so I noticed a few things with this team because I think this was the team I played most yesterday. Because I played this team the most. I think I played like 20 games with it. I think I lost like 15 of them. But yeah, what I noticed about this team, if I were to build it in game and make a few changes, I think the changes that I would make would be changing the Gyarados' EV spread, because I don't like how it doesn't outspeed Timid Tapu Koko after a Dragon Dance. Add a little bulk to the Kartana, because I feel like some situations, like a lot of situations actually, I think it happened in like 6 or 7 games, where if I had a bit of HP investment into the Kartana, I would have actually survived a bunch of hits that would have won me the game. And I think that was it. Yeah, because, I don't know, Aerodactyl was a bit annoying because it's like one of those Pokemon that has like so many good moves, but okay. I'm going to cut, hold on, be right back. Okay, so we're back, and what I'm trying to say was like Aerodactyl has like so many moves that it wants to fit in. Like it has Taunt, it might want Protect, it might want Smackdown for like certain teams, but like I don't know, like the reason I thought about Taunt, because I really like the Aerodactyl as it is, but I really would have liked Taunt in some situations, because I feel like this team has like some certain matchup issues. Maybe I'll ask Jon Hu about them. One of them was like Porygon 2 Tapu Koko leads, because I don't really see like how Jon really stops that. Just because like it's really hard, because Tapu Koko kind of threatens a knockout on almost everything. Like I think it knocks out the Kartana. I'm not exactly sure about that, but it does threaten a lot of teams, especially if it's like okay, it threatens the Aerodactyl, and the Gyarados for when it knockout. Well, Aerodactyl Sash, but the Gyarados is the one that has Taunt, which is preventing the Trick Room. And I don't know if you could lead Kartana Aerodactyl into it to try Skydrop, because of the fact that I don't think that Kartana can live two. Well, it can't live a Thunderbolt plus Dazzling Gleam combination, so it's a really hard matchup. I feel like Hard Trick Room was annoying. Mimikyu was super annoying for this team. I didn't see a way this team could really break through Mimikyu Trick Room. So yeah, let's see. My opponent has the Tapu Lele, Tapu Bulu, Torkoal, Gyarados, Snorlax, and the Comfey. This is gonna be a Heal Pulse team, and it doesn't have. Oh wait, no. Comfey does have access to Trick Room. Okay. I do like Kartana in this matchup a lot. The only thing that really stands out to me is the Torkoal. So I think I'll go Aerodactyl Kartana with Gyarados and... Do I need Gyarados? I don't need Gyarados. I think I want Tapu Koko. Maybe Electivire in the back. Yeah, I kind of like Electivire in the back more, because... I don't know. I don't think my opponent's going to lead Torkoal. I really don't think you should lead Torkoal in this game. I feel like Snorlax is pretty safe as a lead, to be honest, so I would probably lead it. I'm hoping Torkoal can be Skydropped, because otherwise we could have some issues. But then again, most Torkoals carry like Eruption, Heat Wave, Protect, and then Filler Move. We're going to see Comfey Snorlax, which is kind of what I assumed would be the matchup. As right here, I'm going to leave my Kartana Aerodactyl. And this is still a pretty tough mind game, to be honest, because, yes... the problem is I can't like... Okay, the problem is like if Snorlax carries Protect, because if it carries Protect, that's a problem. My opponent can also set up the Trick Room, which is also annoying, but I'm going to Swords Dance here and Skydrop the Comfey, because I'm pretty sure the Snorlax is... I don't know if it protects, because it might fear the Taunt from Aerodactyl, and I think Comfey would be like a Mental Alert, but we're going to see the Snorlax withdraw, and Torkoal's going to come out. So good play by my opponent. That's going to be the Drought activating. Maybe I should just Rock Slide. Okay, we get to Skydrop into Comfey. This is going to be annoying, because how does this team beat... Also, Torkoal Lilligant was a team that I had problems with. But it's just Torkoal, but it's Comfey. Now this is like the one time I actually wish I had Sash. I think Sash would have helped a lot here. I'm gonna go for a Leaf Blade into Comfey. I can't afford Trick Room getting up, can I? No, not with the Pokemon I brought. So most likely I'm gonna have to trade the. I'm gonna have to trade. Oh, Torkoal protects. Not to play. But I'll take that. I'll gladly accept that. I'll accept your offering. Here comes the Sky Drop. It's going to target down the Comfey slot. And we will get the Leaf Blade off. So maybe my opponent was fearing a Fighting Z. Because Fighting Z Kartana has been running around lately. It's like a thing for... So like, it has this thing for knocking out Arcanine at +1. With Fighting Z... All Out Pummeling. Tapu Bulu is going to come out. I don't know how I feel about that. I think we're in a pretty okay position here. I guess since my opponent probably realizes I don't carry... Well, probably a superpower Tapu Bulu. But he powered on my Leaf Blade, which is really nice. I could just drop a Rock Slide and try to put this Torkoal in range of an attack. You know what, I'm going to Rock Slide and protect Kartana. I want to see if it's like Scarf Tapu Bulu. And I get chip damage on the Torkoal. Okay, it is Scarf Tapu Bulu. Goes for Horn Leech. So it's locked into Horn Leech? I don't know. I don't know how I like my opponent playing this game. Rock Slide is going to come out, do significant amount to that Torkoal. Impressive. As Torkoal's going to flinch. I actually didn't need that flinch. I really didn't need that flinch, but I guess we take those. I don't know if the Torkoal's in range of Sacred Sword, but I guess we can go for it. We don't really lose anything by going for Sacred Sword. And I think I'm going to Wide Guard here, because most likely my opponent goes for like a Heat Wave. I don't know if my opponent has like Eruption. Well, probably does have Eruption. But I don't know if like my opponent has a single target Fire type move. It's kind of rare on Torkoal, so I'm not exactly sure. But I'm hoping best case scenario here is either we knock out the Torkoal with the +3 Sacred Sword, or it lives barely, and then the Wide Guard blocks the Fire type attack for knocking out Kartana. Because Kartana is kind of like an important Pokemon in this matchup, because it really, really, really is my only way to answer to Snorlax. Without Kartana, like, this team can't beat Snorlax in my opinion. So Wide Guard's going to come out. It also gives my Aerodactyl one last breathing room, as we're going to see the Horn Leech. Maybe the Leaf Blade would have done the job. I don't know. I could have also crit Leaf Blade since I have Scope Lens. It's a 50% chance. But I want a Sacred Sword because I want to say Sacred Sword will pick up a knockout. I don't think it will, actually. I think it's going to barely. The Torkoal has base 140 defense. Okay, we pick up the knockout, so that was good. Beast Boost is going to activate. Look at this powerhouse right here. Look at this powerhouse. And since the Tapu Bulu is locked into Horn Leech, there's no way for my opponent to win. I'm actually going to... There's no merit into letting the grassy terrain survive because I have Sacred Sword for the Snorlax. My opponent can't win the game. I knock out Snorlax in one hit now, and the Tapu Bulu cannot touch my Kartana at all. So either way, we have this game secured. I'm just going to go for a Dazzling Gleam here. Right? Dazzling Gleam? Or I could just protect. But gain the chip damage on Snorlax. We're +4 Kartana. Sacred Sword usually does about 50%. But some Snorlaxes maybe are max defense invests to live it. So maybe it's like max defense Snorlax. So I think Sacred Sword could miss the knockout. Potentially? No, it shouldn't, right? No, +2 it might be able to survive. Okay, I think I'm going to Sacred Sword. And I'm just going to protect. It's not like, unless this Snorlax has Flamethrower and magically has like a Focus Sash or Chople Berry, I don't think my opponent can win. So let's protect here. We're going to see the Horn Leech once again into the Tapu Bulu slot. As the Sacred Sword's going to come out, target down the Snorlax, should pick up the knockout. Yeah, okay. So I think I was messing up my damage calculations with +2. I kept thinking like I was at +2 damage calculation. We have a +5 Kartana. I want to end this game in style, though. How do I end this game in style, you ask? Good question. Good question. Don't forfeit. I wanted the +6 Kartana, and then I wanted to get the crit Leaf Blade onto the top of Booth to finish off the game. But that was Jon Hu's team. If you want to follow Jon Hu, definitely a great guy. He uses a lot of unconventional stuff, so definitely go give him a follow. His Twitter will be in the description along with the QR code team if you want to try it out. I'm actually very surprised I actually went undefeated in this episode because I was losing a lot yesterday. I guess I was mid-ladder though, but I feel like the ratings weren't that different. But I hope everyone enjoyed today's video. You can check out my social medias down below. If you missed the previous episode of VGC 17 back-to-back battles, definitely go check it out. I don't know what the next team will be. I'm kind of getting sick of QR codes because they're hurting my rating. But maybe I'll do Sage and Park's Onog team. That's going to be a really hard team to use though. Like I have no idea how to play it. Or because I don't have my current team that's ready yet. I do have some ideas though of what I'm building. But I have no idea when I'm actually going to be able to finish that team. So probably QR codes for the next 5 videos, I would assume. But we'll be keeping it fresh with a new QR code team every day until that new team is built. Otherwise, I will see you around in another video.